the last part of this message is just I don't do a lot of this. I don't get in front of the camera very much. It's just usually my gravelly voice in the background. But as I do a lot of times when I'm out here, when I say here, I mean in all this and where it is out here. But this makes me reflect. I don't get much time to do this, Melissa or I. We work too much like the rest of us. But take what I'm about to say to heart, and no matter what's going on in your life, whatever your situations are, the more you can do with this, I think the more peace you're going to find. I know the more peace you're going to find, and the more happiness you're going to be able to bring into your life by simply being able to slow down and stop and count your blessings. Take care. So as I pan the camera around here to the little peninsula we're at, I talk about this in some of my videos. Those of you who watch a lot of our content know that Melissa and I live pretty simple lives. Although it's a life I know a lot of people would give anything to have, being here on the water. It's just like anything else. I mean, trust me, when you live here to a degree, and you're in the middle of a crazy busy life, we take things for granted. I've been on the water for 26 years, saltwater, and grew up around a big lake and outside of Charlotte. So been around water my whole life. You do take it for granted. But the thing that I do truly embrace and enjoy, and this is what I encourage our listeners and followers to think about, is whether it's this, whatever it is, you might look out on your back porch or your back deck and have a dozen deers in your backyard. Excuse me, deer. Still can't talk today, guys. I don't know what it is, and I haven't had any alcohol. But so our old homestead back on the other side of the state, we had about 25 acres, and it was nothing to go out in the morning for coffee and have, a dozen deer, bunch of little fawn babies out there and so forth. And we had red-tailed hawks, and I mean, we had it all there. And truthfully, that to me was more tranquility than it was to Melissa. She loved it, but this is her thing here, even more so than it is me. But anyway, the point behind all that is, in my rambling, is wherever you find your peace, y'all, if you're like me, like us, whether you own a business or whether you're working for the man, punching that clock or whatever, pulling 40 a week, 60 a week or whatever, you got to make time just to stop and take in your blessings. And I struggle with that. We all struggle with that, I think. But just to stop and, this is not a God statement, but for me it is about God. I just thank God for all of our many blessings. And, I just realize how blessed and fortunate we are. But guess what? Regardless of what your situation is, a lot of money, no money, living on the water, no water, living in the mountains, not living in the mountains, whatever your deal is, we're all blessed. And so easy to get wrapped up in the hustle and bustle of life, and it's lather, rinse, and repeat day in and day out. And we don't take the time to do what I'm doing right now and just reflect on my blessings. I just happen to be standing in front of a big body of water and counting my blessings. But the biggest blessing, the peace with today, is getting out in front of a computer, from behind a computer, back from behind the stress of being a CEO and all this involved in managing a bunch of people and all their problems and all the problems with the business and all the client partners' problems and their complaints, yada, 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 and take, 5 or 6 hours and just be able to come out and unwind and forget about all that stuff and just get quiet and get still. That's what it's really about. And that's what I encourage everybody to do, because guess what, y'all? This is just a vapor. This life is a vapor. It's over, just like that. And it's what we do in the time we're here, the memories we make, the love we share, how hard we love each other, and all that. That's what counts. It's not the money. It takes it to survive. All those things. It's not about all the cars and the big houses and boats and your corporate position you know, in your Fortune 500 company. I get it. That's all important to people. It's not to me. I could care less, absolutely care less. I just want peace. I want the ability to do this, to stand here and just let the craziness of our business slip into the very back of my mind where I'm not thinking about it. Watch my wife. You can't really see her. She's way off in the distance, but she's out there doing her thing, y'all. She could do this 24/7, 7 days a week. That brings me a lot of joy. You know, what do we do? What do we do or not do to bring others joy, or take or steal their joy away from them? Something to think about just kind of popped into my head. When you walk into a room, do you bring with you calm, or do you bring with you chaos? I think about that a lot. I'm a bull in a china shop. You know, I'm an old school meathead, ex-cop, A++ personality, hard driving cop. Bull in a china shop, 10,000 miles an hour. And I'm the type of personality, I can bring chaos into a room with me. So I need more of this. I need more of this centering, getting away, counting my blessings, getting some peace, getting some centering away from the craziness of the business world and the demands on that. And just, you know, just chill, man. Just chill out, count my blessings, and mentally and emotionally live to fight another day, because that's what it's going to be. It's not guaranteed, but if it comes tomorrow, that's what it's going to be. And it's a grind, and it'll wear you out. But so anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever your situation is, you're still blessed. Okay? You could be going through the worst times of your life right now, and believe me, we've all been there. Financial, relationships, deaths, losing parents, the whole nine, y'all. It could always be worse. That's what my father always reminds me. I'm blessed to have him at 82, and he always says, no matter what it is, son, it could be a whole lot worse. And he's absolutely right. So in closing this out today, it was just 4 or 5 hours out here late afternoon. We're gonna brush off here in a few minutes. We've got to change the dry clothes in the car and head to dinner somewhere in Morehead City before we head back to the Ponderosa at Harker's Island. But this has just been fantastic to get out today and get some hours in. We got about 12,000 steps in so far too, so I don't have to worry about my cardio today. Taking a day off from training too. I got a competition coming up in another 18 weeks. So none of that today. Worked about 4 hours, but it's been a blessing. I'll stop rambling, but do take the time to slow your life down, slow your mind down, get alone or get with that loved one, whoever brings you peace. Stop, reflect, count your blessings, and just slow down some. And I think you'll live a longer, happier life, and I think we all would if we practice doing more of that. All right, thanks as always for tuning in. Catch you on the backside.